Well, greetings, YouTube model people. How's it going? Okay, coming at you here with a very special 2021 ACME show recap. And yeah, it was just, and to really just sum it up, it was an incredibly fun, enjoyable time. And this was actually the third ACME I attended, which is quite something because when I first attended and decided to attend, I think that was back in 2016 or 2017. I don't remember. And then I attended again in 2019 and, of course, 2021. When I first attended, I said, yeah, this is a bucket list thing. I'm going to come down one and done, and it'll be awesome and all that. But it was such a good time. I said, you know what, I got to go again. So I went a second time, and then, obviously it was super fun. And here we are. We got three of them under our belt, which is awesome. And I don't know if I'll be able to go every single year, but certainly it's on my radar to try to go every year because it is the one show, at least that I'm aware of, where you can actually meet quite a number of YouTubers. And right at the start, I'm not going to try to do a rundown of all the people that I saw or met there. I would probably leave somebody out. That would be pretty uncool. So what I will recommend though is you go over to Pappy's channel, Fred Henry, um, and he does a very good roll call. Pretty much, he got everybody who attended. I believe between 28 and 30 people from YouTube, which is super cool. So we had some people there that have been there, almost every ACME or been there a couple of years, and then a handful that was their first time there this year. So very, very neat to meet all of those folks. And some people did, I will mention some names and situations and stories, and if there's something particular, I will mention that here in this video. And also, if you want, just put this off to the side as you're working on a project, because this may run a little bit long. But I'm hoping to keep it about 10 to 12 minutes. But anyway, that aside, first thing I got was that Rick Zink saw him, and actually, interestingly, he was the first YouTuber I met at the first ACME I went to. So he recognized me or my voice, and then I was basically checking in the hotel at the time, and he came over and said hello. And so on that note, he also handed me a skeleton, which is super cool. And I actually I mentioned this to Rick. I said, when I first met you, and shortly after that, you were handing out skeletons, and you had given me one already. So now we got a pair here. I said, if you're running short on skeletons, let me know. You already had given me one. He goes, no, you're good. Here you go. So now we got a pair here. So it's either a couple or a couple good friends or whatever they are. But they're up here hanging over my bench, keeping I guess you could say bird's eye, a watchful view of what's going on down here. And this one here has been here a while. He's got some stories to tell, I'm sure, what happens here at the crazy mud modeler shop. And the new one, boy, you don't know what you're in for. A warning, fair warning to you. Anyway, so that was cool. Thanks, Rick. I appreciate it. Also got some shop cards from some folks, excuse me. We were a first timer who was there. This Acme show was Cliff over at GI Mechanics Scale Modeling, and this is his brand new, fresh off the press shop card. And I got to spend quite a bit of time with Cliff and hanging out. That was super cool, really nice guy. And as always, Cliff, thanks for your service. And what a neat, as they say, what a neat collection of pictures here on the shop card. Very, very cool. And thank you very much. Another shop card and someone I also spent quite a bit of time talking to and first time meeting and their first Acme show, to my knowledge, is Skip or Skip-O-Matics. And yeah, we had a nice long chat. And here's the funny thing about the shop cards, guys. I commented on some people's videos and said about, if I knew they were going, I said, make sure you bring your shop cards so you can hand them out. And guess who forgot to bring their shop cards down? Was me, of course, right? So I owe a couple people some shop cards. I'll get those out to you here soon. So thank you, Skip. I really appreciate it. It was really fun meeting you and talking with you. Another item I got was a very cool little booklet here from James Morris, and it's a booklet on, or pamphlet, how to wire and detail model car engines. And it's quite extensive here. It has a lot of information, and it's actually an area. I've been doing civilian truck models for a long time, and I never really went or geeked out on basically detailing engines, just because I don't really know how very easily. So this goes through all kinds of great information and such. So this is just what the doctor ordered here, James. Sorry for the camera. So I appreciate that, and we'll see if we can make that a 2022 goal. To when we do a model car, we'll go, hog wild, so to speak, on detailing out the engine. And and we'll use that pamphlet. We'll be perfect for that. So thank you again, James, and glad to see you're doing better and all, with your health and such. So here we are with a couple other items I had, which were these little tokens or medallions. I saw Mr. BG again, which was kind of fun because we actually saw each other at the ITMS Nationals in Las Vegas back in August. So, we had a good little joke or laugh about that. The fact, hey, this is what, the second time in a couple months. I said, I don't know. I think that's against the rules to to meet up with people that often. But and Brian and Mrs. BG, awesome to have a great chat with them throughout the weekend. And he gave me a disc. He numbered it ACME 2021, and I was number 3 at 20. Which I told him a little bit after he handed it to me. I said, what's funny is that the number 3 is perfect because this is my third ACME show. He goes, well, there you go. I said, that, it's just happened to be, right? So meant to be, I guess is what you're saying. Craig. Yep, that was very cool. Couple more medallions we got, which are super neat, is the saw Papa Dan. Again, I seen him every time. I think that I've gone down to ACME. So I got a medallion for my 2020 Meng Tiger group build. I built the USS Missouri, so I got one with the little ship on there. These are so neat. Thank you, Papa Dan. And also I got his Hobby Time with Papa Dan medallion as well. It's kind of his shop medallion. So again, super cool. I really do appreciate that, guys. It's very generous of you to have these little items to hand out, and really nice. So as far as models and stuff like that, believe it or not, there's actually a model show too. I guess if you notice, people's recaps, there's such focus on YouTubers and meeting people and stories, because that's really what it's all. That's the main thing about this show. It's a great show. It is an amazing show, no doubt. But really, the key is at least for me, is meeting everyone and getting to see people for the first time and chat and have great stories and memories and stuff like that over the years. So that's definitely the best part. But I did bring a model. I flew down this time, as I did the last couple times. I'm not a guy who likes to drive long distances. I am a solo act, so it would be a lot of driving for one person to take on. But anyway, so I flew down, so that kind of limits, in my mind, because I haven't really figured out a great way to travel without damaging something. And I've done it a few times, and I've had issues with damage. And I even had a little bit of issues with damage coming home with this little guy, this little kit. But I brought this down with me. It's an older build. I think I built it in the mid-2000s or 2009, maybe, something like that. It's the 1/43rd scale Mercedes C9 race car, wearing its beautiful German silver paint. And it was kind of neat because there was only, there's not a huge area of building. It's 1/43rd scale. It's kind of a niche within a niche thing with the hobby. But I did meet 2 other gentlemen who were the other 2 folks who brought 1/43rd scale cars to the show. So we kind of had our own little, I guess you could say, 1/43rd car little meeting, whatever, just by chance at the end of the show, picking up our models and putting them away at the end of the day. So that was fun to meet and talk with those guys, and it's something I'm hoping to do more of. I've done more 1/32nd scales as of late, which segues perfectly into what I'm going to show next, which is what are some of the items I picked up at the show. Now, again, having flown, I didn't really plan to bring much with me, and believe it or not, I left ACME Sunday morning to get on a flight at some horrible early hour, but thank God the clocks went back an hour, so I got an extra hour of sleep. But I had to get up at 3:15 in the morning Sunday to be on a flight at 5:45, and I went actually up to Boston to go see a jazz concert Sunday night. It was smart to not go crazy with the kit buying and the product buying. So we'll show you what we got. On the small scale, we actually picked up this 1/32nd scale NPC kit which the clincher is, it comes with the driver. So how cool is that? But some of us were looking at this kit and saying how detailed it was, and I kind of said, yeah, I said you'd be surprised that some of the 132 scale kits are way more detailed than some of the 124th, 125th scale kits. So in this kit, we had particular, intrigue with the wired wheels here. It's all plastic, but it opens. All the openings are there, molded in, very clean and crisp. It's not like a flash nightmare that you have to deal with. So yeah, it's a very cool kit. Don't know when we'll get to that one, but we're going to try to actually build some more 143rd in 2022. I'm sure we'll build one or two 132nds as well. But I want to try to do a couple more smaller scale guys because I'm overdue. So anyway, let's just touch on one other kit that I picked up. But first, let me give a little background just briefly. Is I plan to do this New York City alleyway diorama where it's set in the 1970s, early to mid 70s, and so I needed a car to go in the alleyway because that's what I'm going to have as a car, and some trash bins and garbage bags laying there and some other odds and ends in the alleyway. So I wanted to put a car where you see the rear end of the car facing toward you. So I was looking for the perfect, what I thought represented the 70s rear end of a car. First car I got was the Starsky and Hutch car. And I thought this was the perfect choice. It looked pretty cool, and it looked like it was going to be just right. Painted the right color, it would look great. But then I saw it at a show, model show, displayed, and realized, you know what? I don't know. I don't think that's, what, I'd rather maybe have something else. So then we came across this kit, which is a great kit just by itself, the Supernatural 67 Chevy Impala. So it isn't quite into the 70s, but it's got a very 70s look to it, obviously being set in the late 60s. And I thought, okay, this looks great. This rear end of this car is pretty neat and kind of looks the part. But believe it or not, a little voice in the back of my head kept saying, you know what, keep your eye out. Just, keep your eye out as you're going to shows and stuff and looking on the internet if somebody's doing a stash ads and see if you can find something even better. Well, at ACME, we found this unopened 1970 77 Impala. Now, I'm not going to build it like this, of course. It's going to be built stock. But if this doesn't scream, 1970s car, I don't know what does, the back end of this car. So there we go. We finally found the car that we're going to build for that little diorama. So I think that's basically it, folks. Thanks if you hung in this long. It was a great time. Definitely check out everyone else's recap videos. I, too, am going to try to put up some pictures and a slideshow, although my pictures really don't come out very good as far as the quality, because I just use my phone and the camera on the phone, and it's an older one, and when I put it in editing software, I lose a generation of clarity also. But I might have some of the different angles of the same models, or maybe I caught a picture of one of the projects that someone else didn't. But definitely check out everyone's recap because they all have great stories to tell. And of course, as I said earlier, some of the best stories are the fact of meeting up with folks. And again, we had a really fun time. Even right Friday night, a handful of us from the community and some of the spouses went out to dinner together. And it was just a lot of fun, guys. So again, if you can, put it on your bucket list and try to get to ACME someday, because you will definitely not regret it. It is just a fun time. So with that, again, cheers, everyone.